there was a tailpipe from 61 Canal.
I'm missing one.
I dropped it on the bridge.
With a piece of road.
I think we're safe to go. All right, thanks for coming out tonight, everybody, for the council meeting. We can begin our pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting is not called to order. In line with the Borough of Sebright's long-standing policy of local government and in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, I wish to advise you that adequate notice of this regular scheduled meeting was sent to the Asbury Park Press and other local newspapers on January 10, 2023. In each instance, the date, time, and location of this meeting were provided in the notice. This meeting is open to the public. Roll call. Councilmembers Bieber? Here. Booker? Here. Catalano? Here. Gorman?
Here.
Keeler? Lamy?
Here.
And Mayor Crowe's here. All right, first up, if there's anybody who would like to be heard tonight, just please state your name and your address, and the floor is yours. All right, I guess we can just move on to our consent agenda. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the items on this consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
All right, Councilmembers Bieber?
Yes.
Booker?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Gorman?
Yes.
Keeler? And Lamy.
Yes.
All right, we've approved the consent agenda. Moving on to ordinances. Our first one is ordinance 15/2023. Borough of Seabright, an ordinance providing funding for the sand replenishment project for the Borough of Seabright and appropriating $55,000 for such purpose. Would anyone like to make a motion to open a public hearing on ordinance number 15/2023?
Second.
All right, Councilmember Bieber?
Yes.
Booker?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Gorman?
Yes.
Keeler?
Yes.
And Lamy.
Yes.
All right, is there anybody who would like to be heard on ordinance 15/2023? So this is our share of whatever the overage they end up coming in. All right, can anybody make a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 15/2023?
So moved. Second.
All right, Councilmembers Bieber?
Yes.
Booker?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Gorman?
Yes.
Keeler?
Yes.
And Lamy. All right, public hearing is closed on ordinance 15/2023. Can somebody please make a motion to adopt ordinance 15/2023?
Second.
All right, Councilmembers Bieber?
Yes.
Booker?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Gorman?
Yes.
Keeler?
Yes.
And Lamy.
Yes.
All right, so we have adopted ordinance 15/2023. We're moving on to new business. Vouchers in the amount of $109,112.66. Can somebody please make a motion to approve this voucher list?
So moved. Second.
All right, Councilmembers Bieber?
Yes.
Booker?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Gorman?
Yes.
Keeler?
Yes.
And Lamy.
Yes.
All right, we have approved the voucher list. All right, we are moving along to mayor and council comments. I have a few quick comments to open up. First of all, kudos everybody for, I think the summer season is officially over, right? We made it to the 15th, so that counts. It was safe, fun. Police did a great job. Every department did a great job. Public Works, our beach, administration, everyone did outstanding work this year, firefighters. But, you know, and we have a rough final tally on paid parking. I spoke to Trish, so they still have to verify the numbers, but including the revenue we get from business parking, we're at about $871,000 for the season. which is nice. It's, we had a slow season, but I figured, we built everything so it's for success. So, when the good weather comes, I'd say 871 is far better than expected 5 years ago. So, it was another successful and safe season. And, the beach, Sam, everyone on the beach did a great job this year, lifeguards. Of course, the police. Thanks again, Chief. Another safe and great season. I don't know how you guys do it. You have your hands full. All the
We have a good crew.
a lot of activity in town, but you keep the peace. But overall, it was a great season. So thanks to everyone for helping us have a nice, fun, and safe season. There's a upcoming referendum vote in a bilateral one this coming week for the referendum between Highlands and Atlantic Highlands, as we all know. But I spoke to the mayor again today and our attorneys, and the interesting thing is, as Highlands, the governing body, in unison, basically is opposing their own referendum vote, which is really unique. So I'd asked, we can support as we are, of course. We agree that we'd rather have a 3-town referendum vote, if anything at all, but it is what it is right now. So, we just, depending on the outcome, whether they vote up or down on this thing, we'll still look forward to having a second. All parties are still publicly stating that we want to have a second vote at some point, whether this vote fails or passes. So we'll see what happens over the next week. But it should be interesting, and we'll see how it all plays out.
When's that?
I think it's Tuesday. I think it's the 26th. What do they? It doesn't affect us. I think tuning. I think the polls are. I think it's like 12 to 8. It's not like a regular vote. It's interesting. Very odd hours. For commuters, it's kind of tough. I mean, you can get there maybe at night, but not having the polls open in the morning is kind of strange. We'll see what happens. It's interesting. There's a lot of like grassroots stuff going on out there, I do believe, and I think we all know, especially in Seabright, we have a person or two who's definitely running around doing their thing to lobby in the right direction. So we'll see how it turns out, but it's going to be interesting if it's no vote in particular in Highlands. It's very interesting to see how it all plays out. But let's see. The historical committee, they had a nice Sunday event. They kicked off their new little building. It was pretty cool. They did a great job, and it's nice. I think the nice thing, besides the fact that Seabright's unique for thousands of reasons, being coastal, fishing mills, all a lot of history here. But I think they broke the ice, and they had a nice grand opening there. Nice turnout. It was catered. It was a lot of fun. But I think the fact that there's now a place for everything, over time, you're going to see a lot of cool stories and other things added along the way. So I think it's a nice thing to build on. But they did a good job getting to that point too. And especially the fact that it's part of our old our hall, really, but our rec center. I like the fact that we have a good use out of it besides just rec. It's, we're putting it to use as we all had hoped for many, many years. So I'm glad we saved the building. Right, Jack? That was because there were rumors many years ago, but now that we're putting it to good use, and we're going to rec in the historical community.
There's the actual community opening this weekend on Saturday from 3 to 6.
And
So if everyone wants to spread the word to come around and hear some really awesome stories.
Free beer and hot dog, right?
free beer and hot dog.
Nope. Dessert and Snapple, I think.
Snapple.
Sugar.
I didn't say it's like sugar with sugar.
What time is that again?
3 to 6 p.m. on Sunday. No, Saturday, sorry.
That's all. Anybody else have any things for your committees?
Mayor, I have a couple things if I could.
Sure.
First of all, just backing up a little bit on the consent agenda in approving resolution 153/2023. That was the resolution to approve the purchase of the pavilion, the train pavilion in Anchorage Park. We're all familiar with what was proposed there. We did have 12 interested parties. We had one compliant bidder, one compliant qualified bidder. Submitted a price. It was reviewed by engineering colleagues. Bill White deemed it to be acceptable and compliant. So forwarded to the mayor and to the council recommending approval of that. So that's great news because that starts the process of finalizing the details of the design, placing the order, and hopefully getting it in sufficient time before the winter comes that we can actually start the installation and volunteer work. So more to come on that. On bulkheads, tomorrow we have a follow-up meeting to pursue alternative funding strategies. We're working on how we will submit an application to the state and federal, compiling things like cost-benefit analysis, impact analysis, and everything else. So hopefully, with the help of some experts on the state side, we're going to submit something that we can get some funding through. It's going to help us determine the funding methodology. The chief just walked out, but on the code enforcement summary, just a couple words around that. I want to thank the chiefs who stepped out in the Seabright Police Department for a major ramp up in enforcement this year as compared to last. It's something that we, the council, asked for. We added officers, which was good, but in addition to that, I think the chiefs did a very good job of targeting our summer specials in areas of critical enforcement. I can tell you, for one, I saw a lot more patrol on the beach from the police department this year than I have in prior years. And excellent collaborative work with the beach team in trying to deal with some of the issues that we have here. A major uptick in summer court payments. It's not finalized by a long shot. I reported a couple of meetings ago that year-to-date through August, it was up 76% on court fees for summonses that were issued, which is a really big deal. And the team targeted a couple of key areas, which included driving under the influence, illegal parking, and smoking in public areas, all of which we saw an increase in summonses on. So that's good news. Not that we like to hand out summonses, but we like people to respect the community and do the right thing, and I think the police department helped with that. The last thing I'll just mention again is we have two new ordinances under review right now, one for fire pit usage and another one for electric bike usage. We're going to do some review on that in the next workshop. We'll discuss that and hopefully advance them to something in the final form. That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
That's it. Thanks, Earl. Anybody else?
I just want to mention that the police selected a woman to be the secretary, and I was hoping she'd be here tonight, but she couldn't make it. As you know, we talked about this. A major factor like this is it relieves the police officer from heavy-duty paperwork and gets them out on patrol.
That's a good idea. That works well.
So, the other police officers said they see it as a big help. She's a local, she's a Bronxton gal, and she has a background in education, right, in law and law enforcement. The emergency management team has received a Lucas chest compressor. It's here. They're working on that, getting the training completed so that they can be certified to use it. And as soon as they get that done, I was asking could they schedule a date when members of the council or members of the other staff in town would come in and watch it and see it being used. So I'll let you know on that. It's a major safety improvement for the town to have this. I read just recently the case where not being Seabright, but in Monmouth County, they were hustling somebody in the emergency room, heart failure, and this Lucas machine kept them alive, kept them breathing, and fully recovered.
That's great. And it looks some of the picture of human error, or as you discussed before, hurt.
Yeah, and when you're somebody in the ambulance is going 40, 50 miles an hour, and they hit a bump or a swing around a corner, this machine keeps working. Whereas if you had somebody trying to do something by hand, great problem. So this is a great improvement. And I'll keep you posted on my inspection over here.
Excellent.
Okay.
Mayor, if I could just address some of our grant activities. We have a meeting tomorrow morning with the folks from Millennium to continue the conversation around bulkheads. We'll be interested to see what information they're able to put forward. We've had some good discussion Greg and others, our engineer and others have been active in trying to look at different scenarios and provide information back and forth to Millennium to give us a chance to kind of go through this and make sure that we're putting our best foot forward. It appears though at this point, and certainly all of his comments, it appears though at this point that we would have a decent opportunity if we check all the boxes and all the right things and all of that. That it does not appear to be a fool's errand to look at this. Anything there?
No, I think the thing we have to remember is ultimately whatever happens here is going to be federal funds. And with that usually comes strings. So we want to understand the implications of that. As Councilman Booker said at the prior meeting, if we're going to fail, we want to fail early rather than wait years to find out that we didn't get it. So that's one of our goals in the process.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Good.
I have one thing for executive, I'm going to circle back to the library.
We don't, we have no plans for executive tonight, ready to carry anything to, at Joe's request, to suggestions to the next
Okay, well, the
workshop presentation.
But what I will do then is I'll make sure that the rest of the council facility gets Mike's report on the library overage. Again, I don't want to get too much with names and who's over and hours and all that stuff.
Okay.
I'm careful with that. But
Sure.
from a financial perspective, I think it's important the council understand where we're at, what the suggested remedy is. So I'll forward that over.
All right.
Anybody
Anybody on the white side?
One thing I want to
The, I just have one quick thing. On Thursday, we're set to be inspected by the DEP for more beef replenishment from Manasquan to Sandy Brook project. That's a pretty big deal because it's been on hold in certain spots. So they're going to check us out and try to see if we are worse than other towns.
Sam, are you going to be with me?
I'm going to try. I know that Brett is, but
That is one of the most common asked questions I get now. When is it? Yeah, I think it's going to be annual ask now from residents. You know, just get once every 10 years or 7 years. It's going to be like, yeah, what's that? Just thanks.
yeah.
Hey, Sam, if I could, two quick questions. Number one, if you're not able to be there and you want somebody else to be, please let us know.
Yeah.
And two, do we have a strategy of exactly where we want to show them to see the worst?
I think the strategy is to show them down south. Pretty much village that trade winds is the worst spot if we do get to have a set where it works.
But they are looking county-wide, so.
They are, yeah, they have a
Yeah.
plan of their map which they're gonna go by that has like a survey. But if we're able to point them in a certain direction and tell them that this gets beat up in Northeasters way worse than every other spot in town, then, you know, consider it.
Yeah, can you arrange to come during high tide too?
Yeah.
If you need any backup, please.
All right.
It's, the area near the Highlands Bridge is pretty close to the seawall too. We need a second location.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I would think we want to show them is the areas that have the most impact on the town. I agree with Jack. Up there is that we have a very low population up here. Down here we have a lot, and it's also a threat to buildings. They're on the same side, of the road. So anything we can do to make sure it has maximum impact.
This action we voted on about the bonds, that clears everything with our previous commitments, et cetera. And so there's no red flag where you pass. So we're done, right? We're done.
You'll see a big check on the bill list, probably in a couple of weeks, once this bond is finalized and they stop the period over. We'll be receiving a county check any day now, plus this, so we'll pay it one big lump sum.
One thing I just want to ask you on the OPEC project. Concern people have expressed to me is, will there be any, if they accept any federal money, will there be any restrictions on their, or their requirements to open the property up?
Yeah, that's exactly my point, is sometimes with federal money comes strings attached.
Yeah.
And if they're not acceptable or onerous to us, or most likely the residents, it could make that money ineligible to us. So we want to make sure we understand that. In our conversations with the representatives from the state, certain grants will definitely have that. Other ones are a lot more lax without putting federal demands. So we're aiming towards the one that has maximum flexibility.
As we discussed, there may be some, depending on what entities they do get approved, or, maybe some negotiation depending on the source.
Right.
Because, yeah, I mean, at first, honestly, if there's a right of way requirement where you have to, I would think you say no, if somebody's gonna lose their water.
Yeah, every meeting that we have, Jack, we talk about this subject, where the last time, when Army Corps of Engineers came in several years ago, and the plan was put forward, it had two major problems with it if you were a homeowner. One, the height of the wall. They would put it at the 100-year flood level, right? And also demanding public access across that property. Both of those seem to be unacceptable, right? So what we want to do is we want to find a funding methodology that is probable, reasonable, right? And that it doesn't put onerous terms on us or the homeowners that we wind up in legal battles or anything like that. So we absolutely have that in mind.
Anybody else?
Just want to mention, when I did down summer with Rob this morning, they did get the downspout put back up on this building over there, put it like, that's good. After our workshop the other day, I ran down to Neptune to meet this guy from Fairview who has turf. So he wanted $500 for it. I met him. He was so excited. He's going to give it to us. All we got to do is get it. So I talked to Joe and Rob, and once he tells us we can go figure it out, they're 16-foot squares. They weigh a lot. If you try to roll them home, they weigh a lot. So we're going to bring them back and do a pilot test. This bump out over by Joyce. And he's got that works.
You're gonna get them all at once, or you're gonna go,
We're gonna get them all at once.
and you have a storage place?
We're gonna put them in the tree light back here, just lay them flat. It'll look like grass.
Okay,
I actually said, if you want it, because he's gonna give us 10,000 square feet. That's a lot of square feet.
that sure is.
If we have to get rid of it, we'll just bring it to the county dump, get rid of it. But we're gonna try to make use of it. But it could be in the lot, it's permeable, right? Drainage. Clean the numbers there, and add it to the park.
I bet you you'll find good uses for it, John.
We might.
You will, one way or the other.
The key thing was that, we're not gonna buy anything for the scope of the first project, right?
If we have,
Yeah, for free.
if we have any significant amount left, we can make it available for the residents.
We could do that. We needed about, I'm gonna say 2,500 square feet. We're getting 10,000. And I tried to push it back, do I need to take the road? He said, you're not getting it all, half is going to a girls' volleyball team. And he's gonna do the whole field, so he's got 20,000 space.
That's also a placement here as well. So we're out.
Yeah, he even thought, I had a lot of good stuff, but anyway, we're getting from that. The price is right. Yeah. Slip and slide, the way that. We still have 5 street lights out, that's gonna be painstaking. These ones will really have significant issues in cable and wire. I'm hoping we're gonna do something with these valves in Long Beach and not let another winter go by. And we get to them with a new idea of how to cross them. I'll get with Joe. Street sweeper was back. He had a lot of water today. He moved a lot of stuff, but there's a lot to move. So it's good. Simon wanted he's back in business, and he's going to make his regular basis. So.
Hey, John, just a question on that. In light of the fact that it's been hit and miss with that, and hopefully it's more hit and miss, do we put out on Nextdoor that thing's running around?
I asked for that, but we didn't get it yet. So we do need to get it, because I think Teddy is the normal day downtown, so I saw him in the downtown, and then Thursdays he's down in the south. So we need to get something done.
Okay.
Yeah. I still would like that software where we can communicate with our residents, public trucks.
Oh, yeah.
And then we can get that out to subscribers, and they can communicate to us, and it has a dashboard that tells
Yes,
us.
so
Yeah, I can. It's on. It's different, but yeah. I just have a couple of quick things to say again. I got the wrong, we changed the date on it, right? So the Historical Society opening is Sunday.
Oh, good.
24th, 36.
Yeah.
So we get the right date out there. So if everyone can spread the word, that'd be hugely appreciated. I'm sure the Historical Society would really appreciate that. I also emailed through today from Monmouth County. There's a historical preservation grant that's going around. So we could take a look at that. That was one of the grants that they talked about when we went to the, that seminar, the municipal seminar. Back when it was,
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
The Historical Society,
yeah,
at the old Borough Hall?
yeah. No, the building.
Oh, sorry, you don't need the small one.
No, no, no,
Okay,
no.
right.
I'm
That's
thinking,
confusing.
so there's two things, just
Historical.
both historical. So there's a historical preservation grant. So for any buildings that are historical,
Understood, okay, got it.
which is technically a community center,
Mhm.
you know, we can look at that and take a look if there's any kind of preservation, walls, roof ceilings, like how do we preserve the building in total, right? So I sent that through for, people to just consider and look at. I don't know if it's right, I may be wrong, but you know what, just let's take a
I
look.
think it's funny, it's an old dance club, used to have a beach. Isn't it weird? I guess just like a little shack on the beach.
So if it's considered, then, you know, we can look towards that.
Hang on one second, just real quickly. I think that's a great idea, and the fact that the Historical Society is now in there, I think makes it even more relevant. And based on the work that John and I have done in that building is one bad blow,
That's-
blowing wind away from a problem. So
Well, you feel so
I
good.
mean, there's been so much water damage in that building.
But
The structure is shaky. I was
So,
there.
okay, so this is, you're saying it's not Mount Vernon?
No. But something along those lines, I think, would be very beneficial.
So I think we have until November, like all applicants will be looked at for November for the 24 approval. So we should take a look at it, get together, put some costs down and just,
Do you ever think about, I don't know if this is forward, I think it's in the instructions book Born to Run. There's a picture of back in the 60s playing that gym.
really,
Yeah, because it used to be, they used to be on the beach.
yeah.
And they
yeah,
moved it, so
right.
it was
That's
like,
one of the stories you'll hear if
it
you
was like
come.
surf and sea or whatever. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It is,
It's
right?
fun, same walls.
Yeah, and I think it was just nice to preserve what, you know, we can, it's got, still has history. And then, let's see, so this morning, thank you so much, Councilman Elliott, and Rob making over to the community center. We looked at what we're calling the game room. Rob, DPW is gonna paint it, they're gonna look at the ceiling, they're gonna put locks on, they're gonna get new toilet seats, I've got just a bunch of improvements that are gonna be done for our ribbon cutting, which is planning to be October 15th. We had to change the date from the 14th to 15th because Oceanport has the Fall Festival on the 14th. So if we want our kids to come, we don't have it on that day. And then we're also just looking for a couple more donations for the rec center, like 2 Xboxes and maybe like 6 or 7 bean bags. And what we don't get, you know, I think some families will purchase. But if anyone's looking to get rid of Xboxes, send them my way. And yeah, and so again, the ribbon cutting is,
I'm sorry, the date in October?
the 15th, Sunday,
What time?
from 1 to 4. There are going to be flyers are in the making, going to be postcards sent out to every house, and there's also going to be, don't be surprised, a social pages for Seabright Recreation that are going to start coming for just kind of teasing announcement.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Thanks, Dennis.
Just want to add one thing.
Sure.
The antique or the classic car show, there's one problem. I told people they would be there at 4 o'clock. Some people came down at 3 o'clock and the show was over. They were packing up and leaving. So when we do things like that again, I think we should be more focused on when is it beginning exactly and when is it ending. Just because some people came down there thinking they were going to see the show and it was over an hour early.
Yeah, and that was a special event, I don't.
What was it advertised and scheduled to?
4.
He said he would be here till 4. We weren't there, I was there in the morning.
They had the award ceremony, and then as soon as that was over,
People ended up leaving, there's no doubt about it. Well, this has been a long time, since the last one, so we did learn some things of what we would do, and, we're hoping we can do one in the spring.
there was a lot of cars.
There was a lot of cars there.
It was a really nice.
48 Dodge convertible, it was beautiful.
Is that right?
Yeah, and that was my grandfather's vehicle, so I'm
I missed that one. I hadn't used that in 48 times.
There was a
You go to get yours to buy a car, I never think about it, and you go to become a car, it would be kind of cool anyways.
Yeah.
Cool, thanks everybody, great updates, and thank you, audience. No, we did it. All right, yeah, so we don't have an executive session tonight, so thanks again for coming out to partake in this council meeting. Would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting?
We'll move.
Second.
All right, Councilmembers Bieber.
Yes.
Booker.
Yes.
Catalano.
Yes.
Norman.
Yes.
Sheeler.
Yes.
And